The income trap making you poorer every year. You got a raise last year. Maybe 10%, maybe 15%. You were excited. You felt like things were finally going to change. More money meant more breathing room, more security, more freedom. But here you are, 12 months later, and somehow you have the same amount saved as before. Maybe less. You are still living paycheck to paycheck. The bank account looks the same at the end of every month. Zero. Where did the money go? You upgraded a few things. Nothing crazy. Just small improvements. A slightly nicer place. A newer car. Better meals. The things you felt you deserved after working hard and earning more. Reasonable upgrades. Things people at your income level have. But those small upgrades added up. And now you are stuck in exactly the same position you were in before the raise. Except now you have higher expenses. Which means you need the higher income just to break even. You are not ahead. You are just on a more expensive treadmill. If this sounds familiar, you are caught in the income trap. And this video is for you. This is not for people who think budgeting apps and coupon clipping are going to solve their money problems. This is for people who are ready to hear the truth about why earning more has not changed anything. And more importantly, what actually works. This is not going to be comfortable. Because the truth is, you probably do not have an income problem. You have a spending problem. And the spending problem gets worse every time your income increases. That is the trap. Most personal finance advice tells you to earn more money. Get a better job. Start a side hustle. Negotiate a raise. And that advice is not wrong. Earning more does help. But only if you know how to keep it. And most people do not. They earn more and spend more. They climb the income ladder and their expenses climb with them. They look successful on the outside. Nice car. Nice apartment. Nice clothes. But on the inside, they are broke. They have no savings. No investments. No security. Just expensive stuff and a higher income that barely covers it. You do not have to live that way. Later in this video, I will give you the 2-minute version you can use today. But first, we need to talk about why you are stuck. Because if you do not understand the trap, you will keep falling into it no matter how much money you make. And do not worry about taking notes. There is a toolkit in the description with all the tools, a 7-day checklist, and everything you need. You can use it later. Just listen now. The problem and the real cause. Let me tell you about Sarah. She is 32. She makes $65,000 per year. 5 years ago, she was making $38,000. That is a 70% increase. She should be in a completely different financial position now. But she is not. 5 years ago, she had a small apartment, a used car, and she cooked most of her meals. She had about $800 in savings. Today, she has a bigger apartment in a nicer area. She leases a new car. She orders food 3 times per week. She buys clothes she actually likes. She goes on real vacations. And she has $600 in savings. Sarah is earning $27,000 more per year than she was 5 years ago. And she is actually in a worse financial position. How does that happen? The answer is simple but brutal. Every time her income went up, her spending went up faster. She fell into the income trap. And the trap has a name. Lifestyle inflation. Here is how it works. You start making more money. You feel like you deserve better things. And you are right, you do. You worked hard. You earned the raise. You should enjoy it. So you upgrade. Better apartment. Better car. Better restaurants. Better vacations. Better everything. The problem is not that you upgraded. The problem is that you turned those upgrades into your new baseline. What used to be a luxury is now a necessity. What used to be a treat is now expected. Your lifestyle expands to fill your income. And sometimes it expands beyond it. Think about your own life 5 years ago. What did you consider a treat back then? Maybe it was eating out once per week. Maybe it was buying new clothes once per season. Maybe it was taking 1 vacation per year. Now think about today. Those treats are probably normal parts of your life now. They are not special anymore. They are just what you do. That is lifestyle inflation. The special becomes ordinary. The luxury becomes expected. And your spending adjusts accordingly. Let's go deeper with Sarah's example. When she was making $38,000, she spent $900 on rent. That was 28% of her gross income. Tight, but manageable. Her car payment was $180 per month for a used Toyota. She spent about $250 per month on groceries and cooked most meals. She ate out maybe twice per month as a treat. Total spending on food was around $300 per month. Her monthly baseline was about $2,400. Fast forward 5 years. She is making $65,000. She upgraded to a $1,600 per month apartment. Still 28% of gross income, so it feels proportional. But that is $700 more per month. Her car is now a leased SUV at $450 per month. She still spends $250 on groceries, but now she orders delivery or eats out 12 times per month. Food spending is $650 per month. Her monthly baseline is now $4,200. She increased her income by $2,250 per month. She increased her baseline spending by $1,800 per month. The leftover $450 per month should be going to savings, right? But it is not. Because there are other expenses that crept up too. Better gym membership. More subscriptions. Nicer clothes. Small upgrades everywhere. Those $450 vanished into 100 small lifestyle inflations. The real cause is not that you are bad with money. The real cause is that you are human. And humans are terrible at keeping lifestyle stable when income increases. We adapt. We normalize. We recalibrate our expectations based on what we can afford right now. And we forget that afford and need are two completely different things. There is a psychological principle at work here. It is called the hedonic treadmill. No matter how much your circumstances improve, you adapt to them and return to a baseline level of happiness. The nicer apartment makes you happy for a few months. Then it becomes normal. The new car is exciting for a few weeks. Then it is just your car. The better restaurants are special for a while. Then they are just where you eat. You keep upgrading to chase happiness, but the happiness boost is temporary. The spending increase is permanent. You are not broken. The system is just designed to make you spend. Every time you get a raise, there are 1,000 companies ready to help you spend it. Bigger apartment? The landlord is waiting. Better car? The dealership has financing ready. Better wardrobe? The ads are already targeting you. Think about what happens when you get a raise. You tell a few people. Maybe your partner. Maybe close friends. Maybe family. What is the first thing they say? Congratulations. And then? What are you going to do with it? That question is poison. Because it assumes you are going to do something with it. It assumes spending. Nobody asks, how much of it are you going to save? They ask what you are going to buy. The default assumption is consumption. And society reinforces it. Look around. Everyone at your income level is living a certain way. If you do not live that way, you feel like you are falling behind. The pressure to look successful is real. The pressure to signal that you have made it is real. Your co-workers have nice cars. So you feel like you should too. Your friends go on expensive vacations. So you feel like you should too. Your family expects you to have a certain lifestyle now that you make more money. So you feel obligated to live up to those expectations. But here is what nobody tells you. Most of those people are broke too. They just look rich. They have the nice car. It is financed. They have the nice apartment. They have no savings and they are one emergency away from financial disaster. They have the nice clothes. They are on a credit card. They have the nice vacations. They are in debt. They look successful. But they are broke. And you are trying to keep up with broke people. That is the trap. The framework. The way out of the income trap is called the baseline lock method. It has 3 parts. Part 1 is lock your baseline. This means you choose a lifestyle level and you commit to it. When your income increases, your baseline does not. You live the same way you lived before the raise. Same housing cost. Same transportation cost. Same daily spending. The increase goes somewhere else. It does not go into your lifestyle. Part 2 is root the surplus. Every dollar above your locked baseline gets directed immediately. Not at the end of the month. Not when you remember. Immediately. The surplus goes to savings, investments, debt payoff, or specific goals. It never touches your regular spending account. Part 3 is upgrade strategically. You are allowed to upgrade. But upgrades are not automatic. They are intentional. You choose one thing per year to improve. You calculate what it costs. You make sure the cost is worth it. And you do not upgrade anything else. That is the framework. Lock your baseline. Root the surplus. Upgrade strategically. If you are driving or working out, just listen. The toolkit has the full steps. Tool 1. The baseline audit. Here is what it is. You calculate your current monthly cost of living. Not what you think it should be. What it actually is. You track every dollar for 30 days. Then you separate essentials from luxuries. Essentials are things you need to live and work. Luxuries are everything else. This is harder than it sounds. Most people have no idea what they actually spend. They have a number in their head, but that number is usually 30% lower than reality. The gap between what you think you spend and what you actually spend is where your money disappears. When to use it? Use this before your next raise. Or use it right now if you already got the raise and you are wondering where the money went. The audit shows you exactly what your baseline is. Most people guess. Guessing is why they are broke. The audit has 3 phases. Phase 1 is tracking. For 30 days, you write down every single purchase. Every coffee. Every parking fee. Every subscription charge. Every grocery trip. Everything. Use a notes app on your phone. Write it the moment you spend. Do not wait until the end of the day. You will forget. Phase 2 is categorizing. At the end of 30 days, you go through the list. You put each expense into one of 2 buckets. Essential or luxury. Essential means you need it to maintain your current life and job. Rent or mortgage. Utilities. Groceries. Transportation to work. Insurance. Basic clothing. Medical care. Minimum debt payments. That is essential. Luxury means everything else. Restaurants. Entertainment. Subscription services. Fancy coffee. New clothes you want but do not need. Hobbies. Travel. Gifts. Anything that makes life better but is not required to survive and work. That is luxury. Phase 3 is analyzing. You add up the essential bucket. You add up the luxury bucket. You look at the total. That total is your baseline. That is what it costs you to live the way you currently live. Most people are shocked when they see this number. Here is an example. You think you spend $3,000 per month on essentials. You track for 30 days and you find out it is actually $4,200. That extra $1,200 is lifestyle inflation you did not even notice. Maybe it is food delivery 3 times per week. Maybe it is a subscription box you forgot about. Maybe it is impulse purchases at the store. The audit shows you where the money goes. Another example. You track for 30 days. You find out you spend $800 per month on food. You break it down. Groceries are $400. Restaurants and delivery are $400. You realize you are spending the same amount on eating out as you spend on groceries. That is useful information. Now you can decide if that trade is worth it. Maybe it is. Maybe it is not. But now you know. The 7-day mini experiment is simple. Track every purchase for 7 days. Write it down immediately. At the end of the week, categorize each purchase as essential or luxury. Calculate the total for each category. You will be surprised. Most people find that 40% of what they thought was essential is actually optional. The common failure mode is lying to yourself about what counts as essential. You will want to call things essential when they are not. The gym membership you use twice a month suddenly becomes essential for your health. The expensive car becomes essential for your commute. The big apartment becomes essential for your mental health. This is rationalization. It is how lifestyle inflation stays hidden. The fix is this. Ask yourself, if I lost my job tomorrow, would I still buy this? If the answer is no, It is not essential. It is a luxury. And luxuries are fine. But you have to know what they are. You have to be honest about what is a need versus what is a want. Another way to test it. Imagine you need to cut your spending by 30% to hit a savings goal. What would you cut first? Those things are luxuries. The things you would keep no matter what are essentials. This thought experiment forces honesty. If this is useful, subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. It helps more people find these audiobooks. Tool 2, the pre-commit strategy. What it is. When you get a raise, you set up automatic transfers before you see the first paycheck. The surplus never enters your regular spending account. It goes directly to savings or investment accounts on payday. You live on the same amount you lived on before. You never touch the extra money. This works because of a simple principle. You cannot spend money you never see. If the money hits your checking account, you will find a way to spend it. It always happens. You will justify it. You will tell yourself you deserve it. You will find something you need. The money will disappear. But if the money never touches your checking account, it does not exist in your mental budget. You keep living on the amount you lived on before. Your brain never adjusts to the higher income. Your lifestyle stays locked. When to use it? Use this the moment you get confirmation of a raise or bonus. Do not wait until payday. Do not wait until you see how it feels. Set up the transfer immediately. Waiting is how you lose. Here is why waiting fails. Let's say you get a raise. You tell yourself you will manually move the extra money to savings at the end of each month. The first month, you get paid. You see the bigger number in your account. It feels good. You think, I will move the money at the end of the month. But then something comes up. A birthday. A sale. A small emergency. You spend 200 of the extra money. You tell yourself you will move the rest. End of month comes. You moved 400 instead of 600. Next month, you spend a bit more. By month 3, you are spending all of it. The raise is gone. This is why automation matters. You remove willpower from the equation. You remove decision fatigue. You make the choice once and the system executes forever. Example. You currently make $4,000 per month after tax. You get a raise to $4,600. That is $600 extra per month. You immediately set up a transfer. On payday, $600 goes to a separate account. You never see it in your checking account. You live on the same $4,000. Your life does not change. But your net worth starts growing by $7,200 per year. Let's make this more concrete. You get the raise confirmation email on a Tuesday. You log into your bank that same day. You open a high-yield savings account if you do not have one already. You set up an automatic recurring transfer. Every payday, $600 moves from checking to savings. You set it to happen the same day as your paycheck deposit. Maybe even a few hours later. The money arrives and leaves in the same day. You never see it accumulate in checking. Another example. You get a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year. Before you even receive it, you decide where it goes. $4,000 to investments. $3,000 to an emergency fund. $2,000 to a vacation fund. $1,000 to spend however you want. You set up the transfers in advance. The day the bonus hits, the transfers execute. You get to spend your $1,000. The rest is protected from lifestyle inflation. The 7-day experiment. Take your last paycheck. Calculate what you made after taxes. Now imagine you got a 10% raise. Calculate the extra amount. Open a separate savings account today. Set up an automatic transfer for that amount starting with your next paycheck. Even if you did not actually get a raise. This forces you to reduce your spending by 10% and proves you can do it. This experiment is powerful because it shows you that you can live on less than you currently make. Most people think they are living at their minimum. They think they need every dollar of their current income. The experiment proves that wrong. You can cut 10% and survive. Which means when you get a real raise, you can absolutely route that surplus to savings. Common failure mode. You tell yourself you will manually move the money at the end of the month. You will not. There will always be something that needs that money. Or you think you need the extra money right now to catch up on things. So you plan to inflate your lifestyle temporarily, then later you will root the surplus. Later never comes. The fix is automation. Make the decision once. Never revisit it. The money moves without you thinking about it. Another failure mode. You set up the automation, but then you transfer money back from savings to checking when something comes up. This defeats the entire purpose. The fix is treating your savings account as untouchable except for true emergencies. Not I want something emergencies. Not I saw a sale emergencies. Real emergencies. Medical. Job loss. Essential repairs. Everything else is not an emergency. The psychological trick that makes this work is loss aversion. Once the money is in savings, moving it back feels like losing money. Leaving it in checking and spending it just feels like normal spending. So by moving it first, you create a psychological barrier to spending it. Tool 3, the Lifestyle Ledger. What it is? A written document where you list every lifestyle upgrade you have made in the last 5 years. Next to each upgrade, you write what it costs per month and whether you would make the same choice again. When to use it? Use this when you feel stuck financially but you cannot figure out why. The ledger shows you exactly where the money went. It shows you which upgrades were worth it and which ones you regret. Example. 5 years ago you had a $900 per month apartment. Today you have a $1,600 per month apartment. That is a $700 per month increase. That is $8,400 per year. Was the bigger apartment worth $8,400 per year to you? Maybe yes. Maybe no. But you need to know. You also upgraded from a $200 per month used car payment to a $450 per month lease. Another $250 per month. Another $3,000 per year. Add it up. You are spending $11,400 more per year on just those two things. That is a lot of money. Was it worth it? The 7-day experiment. Spend 10 minutes per day for 7 days writing down one lifestyle upgrade per day. Start with housing, then transportation, then food, then clothing, then entertainment, then everything else. Write what it costs now versus what it cost before. At the end of 7 days, add up the total difference. That number is your lifestyle inflation. That is the amount you could be saving if you had kept your old lifestyle. Common failure mode. You justify every upgrade because you can afford it now. The fix is asking a different question. Not can I afford this? But is this worth more to me than financial security? Because that is the real trade. You are trading future security for current comfort. That trade might be worth it. But only if you make it consciously. Tool 4, the peer pressure filter. What it is? A decision rule you use before making any purchase that is influenced by what other people will think. The rule is simple. If you would not buy it for yourself while living on a desert island with no one watching, you do not buy it in real life either. When to use it? Use this when you are considering buying something because people at your income level have it. Use it when you are upgrading because you feel like you should. Use it when you are worried about looking cheap or behind. Example. You are thinking about buying a 2000 watch. You can afford it. People at your job wear nice watches. You feel like you should have one too. Apply the filter. If you were alone on a desert island, would you want a 2000 watch or a 60 watch? They both tell time. The only difference is what other people think. If you would choose the 60 watch for yourself, then the 2000 watch is a peer pressure purchase. Do not buy it. The 7-day experiment. For the next 7 days, before buying anything over $50, write down the answer to this question. Am I buying this for me or for what other people will think? Be honest. At the end of 7 days, count how many purchases were for other people. That is how much of your spending is driven by external pressure instead of internal values. Common failure mode. You convince yourself that you really do want it for yourself when you actually want it for the signal it sends. The fix is the 72-hour rule. Wait 72 hours before buying anything over $100. If you still want it after 72 hours and you would still want it on a desert island, buy it. Most of the time, you will forget about it. That is how you know it was a peer pressure purchase. Midpoint recap. Quick recap. You are not broke because you do not earn enough. You are broke because every time you earn more, you spend more. That is the income trap. The way out is the baseline lock method. Lock your baseline lifestyle. Root surplus income immediately. Upgrade strategically, not automatically. If you only do one thing, do this. Calculate your current baseline. Write down what you actually spend per month. Then commit to not increasing it for 1 year. Every raise, every bonus, every extra dollar goes to savings or investments. Not to lifestyle. Do that for 1 year and your financial position will transform. The second half of this video is about execution. We are moving from understanding the trap to actually escaping it. Keep listening now, then use the toolkit later when you are at your desk. Quick recap, and remember, the toolkit is there so you can revisit this without rewinding. Tool 5, the Hourly Cost Translator. What it is. You convert every purchase into hours of work required to pay for it. This makes the cost real instead of abstract. You take your after-tax hourly wage and divide any price by it. The result is how many hours of your life you are trading for that thing. Money is abstract. Numbers in a bank account do not feel real. But time is real. Everyone understands time. Everyone has experienced working for an hour and hating it or loving it. When you convert money into time, spending becomes visceral. When to use it? Use this before making any non-essential purchase. Use it when you are justifying something because you can afford it. Use it when you are about to upgrade something that already works. First, you need to calculate your after-tax hourly wage. This is not your salary divided by 2,000. This is your take-home pay divided by hours worked. If you make $60,000 per year gross, you probably take home around $45,000 after taxes. If you work 40 hours per week for 50 weeks, that is 2,000 hours per year. So your after-tax hourly wage is $22.50. But it might be less. Do you work more than 40 hours per week? Count those hours. Do you have a commute? Count that time. You are giving that time to your job even if you are not paid for it. If you work 40 hours but commute 10 hours per week, you are really giving 50 hours to your job. That changes the math. Now you are at $18 per hour after tax when you include commute time. This is the real cost of your time. This is what you trade every purchase against. Example. You make $60,000 per year. After taxes, that is about $45,000. You work 2,000 hours per year. Your after-tax hourly wage is $22.50. You are considering a $900 payment for a new phone. That phone costs you 40 hours of work. That is a full work week. You are trading 1 week of your life for that phone. Is it worth it? Maybe yes if your current phone is broken. Probably no if your current phone works fine. Let's get more specific. You currently have an iPhone that is 2 years old. It works fine. It is a bit slow sometimes. The battery drains a bit fast. But it works. The new iPhone costs $1,200. That is 53 hours of work. More than a full work week. You would have to work from Monday morning until Friday afternoon, and then Monday morning again, to pay for this phone. All of that time, just for a phone that does the same thing your current phone does, just a bit faster. Now ask yourself, would you work an extra 53 hours at your job for a slightly faster phone? If your boss said, hey, work 53 extra hours this month and we will give you the new iPhone, would you do it? Probably not. But when you just swipe a card, the cost is hidden. The Hourly Cost Translator makes it visible. Another example. You are considering upgrading your car. The new car payment is $400 more per month than your current payment. That is $4,800 per year. Divide by 22.50. That is 213 hours per year. That is 5 full work weeks per year. Every year. You are working 5 extra weeks per year to drive a nicer car. Is it worth it? Put it another way. If you did not upgrade the car, you could take an extra 5 weeks of unpaid time off per year. 5 weeks. That is a month and a week. You could take a month off every summer. Or you could drive a nicer car. That is the trade. When you frame it that way, the decision becomes clearer. Let's try another scenario. You are thinking about upgrading from a 1,200 apartment to a 1,600 apartment. That is $400 per month more. That is 4,800 per year. That is 213 hours. 5 work weeks. Every single year. For a nicer apartment. You are trading 5 weeks of your life per year for more square footage or a better location. Maybe that is worth it. But now you know what you are really paying. Here is a more everyday example. You are at a store. You see a jacket you like. It costs $200. You can afford it. But before you buy, you calculate. 200 divided by 22.50 is 8.9 hours. 9 hours of work. A full workday plus an hour. You have to work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. to pay for this jacket. Is the jacket worth a full day of your life? Maybe yes if you need a jacket. Maybe no if you already have 3 jackets at home. The 7-day experiment. For 7 days, before buying anything over $20, calculate how many hours of work it costs. Write it down. At the end of each day, review your calculations. Notice which purchases suddenly seem less appealing when you see them as hours of your life. You will notice patterns. Some things will seem worth it. Some things will suddenly seem absurd. A nice dinner with friends for $50? That is 2.2 hours. That might be worth it. Quality time with people you care about. Good food. Good memories. 2 hours of work for that experience makes sense. But a $50 shirt you will wear twice? Also 2.2 hours. That suddenly seems expensive. You are working 2.2 hours for a shirt you will barely wear. That math does not work. Common failure mode. You calculate the hourly cost, but you still justify the purchase because you want it. The fix is adding one more step. Ask yourself, would I rather have this thing or would I rather work fewer hours next year? Because that is the choice. You can buy the thing and work the same amount. Or you cannot buy the thing and save the money and eventually work less or retire earlier. One of those choices is reversible. One is not. Think about it. Every purchase you make is either pushing your retirement further away or pulling it closer. Every $20 you spend is $20 that cannot compound. Every hour of work you trade for stuff is an hour you cannot buy back later. Time only goes one direction. Here is the math that changes everything. Let's say you are 30 years old. You spend $200 per month on things you do not really need. Small stuff. Impulse purchases. Things that seemed fine in the moment. That is $2,400 per year. If you invested that instead, at 7% returns, by age 65 that is $284,000. You are trading $284,000 in future wealth for current stuff you will barely remember. Or flip it around. That $284,000 at age 65, invested at 4% withdrawal rate, gives you $11,360 per year of passive income forever. That is $947 per month. You could quit your job almost a year earlier. You could work part-time instead of full-time. You could take a lower-paying job you actually enjoy. All because you stopped spending $200 per month on stuff. The Hourly Cost Translator is not about making you feel guilty. It is about making the trade-off visible. Once you see it, you can make better decisions. Tool 6. The Opportunity Cost Ledger. What it is. A document where you write down what you are giving up every time you spend money on lifestyle inflation. You list the alternative use of that money. This makes the trade-off visible. When to use it. Use this when you are considering a permanent lifestyle upgrade. Use it before signing any contract that increases your monthly expenses. Use it when you are trying to decide if an upgrade is worth it. Example. You are thinking about upgrading to a $200 per month nicer apartment. That is $2,400 per year. You write in your ledger. If I do not upgrade the apartment, I can invest that $2,400. In 30 years at 7% returns, that is $227,000. So the real cost of the nicer apartment is not $2,400 per year. It is $227,000 in future wealth. That is the opportunity cost. Maybe the apartment is worth it. But you need to see the real number. Another example. You are thinking about buying a $40,000 car instead of a $25,000 car. That is a $15,000 difference. If you invest that $15,000 instead, in 30 years it becomes $114,000. The nicer car is costing you $114,000 in future wealth. Is it worth it? You decide. But at least now you know what you are actually choosing. The 7-day experiment. For 7 days, write down one potential lifestyle upgrade you are considering. Calculate the cost per year. Then calculate what that money would be worth in 30 years if invested at 7%. Write the final number next to the upgrade. Do this for 7 different potential upgrades. At the end, you will have a list of what your lifestyle inflation is costing you in future wealth. Common failure mode. You look at the big number and you feel overwhelmed or guilty. The fix is reframing. The point is not to make you feel bad. The point is to help you make informed choices. Some upgrades are worth the opportunity cost. Some are not. You get to decide. But you cannot decide without knowing the real cost. Tool 7. The regret test. What it is. Before making any purchase over $500, you write a letter to yourself dated 6 months from now. In the letter, you explain why you bought the item and what you expected to get from it. You seal the letter. 6 months later, you open it and write a response. Was it worth it? Do you regret it? Would you make the same choice again? When to use it? Use this for any significant purchase that increases your baseline spending. Use it for cars, housing upgrades, expensive subscriptions, luxury items, anything that will change your monthly budget permanently. Example: you are thinking about upgrading from a $1,200 per month apartment to a $1,600 per month apartment. You write a letter to yourself. You explain why you want the upgrade. More space. Better location. Nicer finishes. You explain that you expect it to make you happier and more comfortable. You seal it. 6 months later, you open it. You write your response. Was the extra space worth $2,400 over 6 months? Do you actually use the extra space? Is the location actually better or just different? Are you happier? The letter forces you to evaluate the choice honestly. The 7-day experiment. Think about the last major purchase you made in the past year. Something over $500 that you still own or pay for. Write yourself a letter today as if you were writing it back then. Explain why you bought it. Then immediately write the response. Was it worth it? Do you regret it? This is practice for doing it in real time. Common failure mode. You write the letter but you do not actually open it 6 months later. Or you open it but you lie to yourself about whether it was worth it because admitting regret is uncomfortable. The fix is sharing. Send the letter to a trusted friend. Ask them to send it back to you in 6 months. Then when you get it, you write your response and send it back to them. Having someone else involved makes you more honest. Tool 8. The Lifestyle Budget Lock. What it is. You create a detailed monthly budget for your current lifestyle. You write down every expense. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, subscriptions, everything. You add it up. That number is your lifestyle budget. Then you commit to not increasing that number for 12 months. Any income increase goes to a separate account. When to use it? Use this immediately after completing the baseline audit. Once you know your current spending, lock it in. Use it as a forcing function to prevent lifestyle inflation for at least 1 year. Example: you audit your spending. You discover you spend $3,800 per month on your current lifestyle. You write that number down. You commit to keeping it at $3,800 for the next 12 months. Next month you get a raise. Your income goes from $5,000 to $5,500. You set up an automatic transfer. $700 goes to savings. You still live on $3,800. Your lifestyle does not change. But your net worth increases by $8,400 over the year. The 7-day experiment. Spend 7 days building your lifestyle budget. Day 1, write down housing costs. Day 2, transportation. Day 3, food. Day 4, insurance and required bills. Day 5, subscriptions and memberships. Day 6, discretionary spending. Day 7, add it all up. That is your lifestyle budget. Write it down somewhere visible. Commit to keeping it the same for 30 days. Track whether you succeed. Common failure mode. You build the budget, but you do not actually track whether you are staying within it. The fix is weekly check-ins. Every Sunday, add up what you spent that week. Compare it to your weekly budget target. If you are over, identify what caused it. If you are under, recognize that you are winning. Tracking weekly is much easier than tracking monthly. Tool 9, the 1-year freeze. What it is? You commit to freezing your lifestyle at its current level for 1 full year. No upgrades. No new subscriptions. No new recurring expenses. You live exactly the way you live right now for 12 months. Any extra money goes to financial goals. This is the nuclear option. This is for when you need to prove to yourself that you can break the pattern. This is for when you have been inflating your lifestyle for years and you need a hard reset. The 1-year freeze is powerful because it removes all decision-making. You do not have to decide whether each potential upgrade is worth it. You already decided. The answer is no for 1 year. This eliminates decision fatigue. It eliminates rationalization. It eliminates exceptions. When to use it? Use this when you need to break the pattern of constant lifestyle inflation. Use it when you want to prove to yourself that you can increase income without increasing spending. Use it as a hard reset. Why a full year? Because 3 months is not enough. You can white-knuckle anything for 3 months. You can suffer through temporary restriction. But that is not sustainable. 3 months does not change your habits. It just delays spending. A full year is different. A full year forces you to adapt. Your brain stops seeing the freeze as temporary deprivation and starts seeing it as normal life. You stop waiting for it to end. You stop counting down the days. You just live. And living at a stable lifestyle for a full year reprograms your expectations. Example. Today is January. You commit to the 1-year freeze. For the next 12 months, your lifestyle stays exactly the same. You do not move to a nicer place. You do not upgrade your car. You do not add new subscriptions. You do not increase your discretionary spending. During that year, you get 2 raises. Your income increases by $12,000. Because your lifestyle is frozen, all $12,000 goes to savings and investments. At the end of the year, you have $12,000 more than you would have if you had inflated your lifestyle. And you just proved to yourself that higher income does not require higher spending. Let's make this more concrete with a detailed example. You are currently spending $3,500 per month. You commit to the 1-year freeze on January 1st. Here is what happens. February. Your coworker gets a new car. She talks about how great it is. You think about upgrading. But you are in the freeze. So you do not. Your car is fine. It works. You keep driving it. Your car payment stays at $250 per month. April. Your lease is up for renewal. Your landlord offers you a bigger unit in the same building for $200 more per month. It has an extra room. More natural light. You are tempted. But you are in the freeze. So you renew your current unit. Your rent stays at $1,300. June. Summer is coming. You usually upgrade your gym membership in the summer to get access to the pool. That is $40 more per month. But you are in the freeze. So you skip it. You work out at your regular gym. Your gym stays at $30 per month. August. You get a bonus of $3,000. Normally you would use it to upgrade something. Maybe a vacation. Maybe new furniture. But you are in the freeze. The bonus goes directly to your investment account. You never touch it. October. Your phone is 2 years old. The new model just came out. Your friends are getting it. You think about upgrading. But you are in the freeze. Your phone works fine. You keep it another year. You save $1,200. December. Year is almost over. You get your second raise of the year. Another $300 per month. Normally you would inflate your lifestyle to match. But you are in the freeze. The raise goes to automatic savings. You finish the year having saved $15,000 more than you would have otherwise. What happens in January of the next year? You have options. You can continue the freeze. Or you can allow yourself one strategic upgrade using the conscious upgrade protocol. But you cannot go back to automatic inflation. That pattern is broken. The 7-day experiment. Commit to a 7-day freeze. For 7 days, do not buy anything except essentials you already plan to buy. No impulse purchases. No upgrades. No new anything. Just live the way you were already living. Track how much you save compared to a normal week. This proves that you can control spending when you decide to. 7 days is short enough that you cannot fail. You can do anything for 7 days. But it is long enough to show you the pattern. You will notice how often you want to buy things. You will notice how many purchase impulses you have. You will notice that most of those impulses pass if you just wait. Most people are shocked by the 7-day freeze. They realize they think about buying something multiple times per day. They realize most of their spending is impulse-driven. They realize they can live just fine without buying anything new for a week. And if they can do it for a week, they can do it for a year. Common failure mode. You commit to the freeze but you make exceptions. One exception leads to another. Soon the freeze is meaningless. The fix is writing down your exceptions in advance. Decide before the year starts what counts as an exception. Medical emergencies. Essential repairs. Safety issues. Everything else is not an exception. Write the list. Stick to it. Here is what counts as an exception. Your car breaks down and you need to fix it. That is an exception. Your laptop dies and you need it for work. That is an exception. You need glasses because your vision changed. That is an exception. These are essentials that maintain your current lifestyle. They are not upgrades. Here is what does not count as an exception. Your car works fine but you want a newer one. Not an exception. Your laptop works but the new model is faster. Not an exception. Your glasses work but you want designer frames. Not an exception. These are upgrades. The freeze covers upgrades. The hardest part of the freeze is social pressure. People will question you. Why are you not upgrading? You can afford it. You deserve it. You worked hard. What are you saving for? Are you okay? Is something wrong? You need a prepared response. Here is what works. I am running a financial experiment. I want to see how much I can save in a year without changing my income. It is interesting. You should try it. This frames it as active choice, not deprivation. It frames it as curiosity, not struggle. Most people will respect that. The second hard part is your own mind. You will rationalize. You will tell yourself this purchase does not really count. You will tell yourself you deserve a break. You will tell yourself one exception will not matter. This is where writing down your rules in advance saves you. When you are tempted, you look at the rules. Is this on the exception list? No. Then you do not buy it. The decision was already made. The 1-year freeze changes your relationship with money. Before the freeze, spending is the default. You see something, you can afford it, you buy it. After the freeze, not spending is the default. You see something, you can afford it, you pause. Do I actually need this? Is this an upgrade or a necessity? Can I wait? Usually the answer is wait. And usually you forget about it entirely. That is how you know it was not important. Tool 10. The Downsizing Audit. What it is. You identify 3 lifestyle expenses you could reduce or eliminate without significantly affecting your quality of life. You calculate how much you would save. Then you test reducing one of them for 30 days. When to use it? Use this when you realize your baseline is too high and you need to lower it. Use it when you want to create savings without increasing income. Use it when you need to prove that less spending does not mean less happiness. Example. You pay $150 per month for a gym membership you use twice per month. You pay $80 per month for a streaming service bundle you barely watch. You pay $200 per month for food delivery. You could cancel the gym and work out at home. You could reduce the streaming bundle to one service. You could cut food delivery in half. That is $280 per month saved. That is $3,360 per year. You test it for 30 days. If you do not miss it, you just lowered your baseline permanently. The 7-day experiment. Spend 7 days identifying potential downsizing opportunities. Day 1, look at your subscriptions. Day 2, look at your transportation costs. Day 3, look at your food spending. Day 4, look at your housing costs. Day 5, look at your discretionary spending. Day 6, look at your insurance and required bills. Day 7, pick one expense to test eliminating for 30 days. Start the test tomorrow. Common failure mode. You identify opportunities but you do not actually test them because you are afraid you will miss the thing you cut. The fix is framing it as an experiment, not a permanent decision. You are testing for 30 days. If you hate it, you can go back. But you probably will not. Most lifestyle expenses are habits, not needs. Once you break the habit, you realize you do not actually miss it. Tool 11, the Conscious Upgrade Protocol. What it is? A set of rules you follow before making any lifestyle upgrade. Rule 1, wait 90 days after thinking about the upgrade before doing it. Rule 2, calculate the annual cost and the opportunity cost. Rule 3, identify what you will give up to afford it. Rule 4, commit in writing that this is the only upgrade you will make this year. When to use it? Use this every time you are tempted to increase your baseline spending. Use it as a filter that separates impulse upgrades from intentional ones. Example: you want to upgrade from a $300 per month car payment to a $500 per month payment. You follow the protocol. You wait 90 days. During those 90 days, you still want it. You calculate the annual cost. That is $2,400 more per year. You calculate the opportunity cost. That is $182,000 in future wealth over 30 years. You identify what you will give up. You will give up upgrading your apartment this year. You commit in writing. This is your one upgrade. You do it. And because you followed the protocol, you do not regret it. The 7-day experiment. Think about one lifestyle upgrade you want to make. Something you have been considering. Write it down. Now write down the date 90 days from today. Commit to not making the upgrade until that date. During the 90 days, calculate the costs. If you still want it after 90 days, follow the rest of the protocol. Most of the time, you will forget about it. That tells you it was not important. Common failure mode. You follow the protocol for the first upgrade, but then you convince yourself the second upgrade does not need the protocol because it is smaller or different. The fix is no exceptions. Every lifestyle increase goes through the protocol. No matter how small. The protocol protects you from death by 1,000 cuts. Tool 12, the Future Self Calculator. What it is? You calculate how much money you would have at retirement if you saved your next raise instead of spending it. You visualize the future version of yourself who made that choice. Then you decide if that future version is worth protecting. When to use it? Use this every time you get a raise, bonus, or unexpected income. Use it as motivation to root the surplus instead of inflating your lifestyle. Example: you are 30 years old. You just got a raise that gives you an extra $400 per month. That is $4,800 per year. If you save and invest that money until you are 65, at 7% returns, you will have $676,000. If you spend it on lifestyle inflation instead, you will have zero. The choice is not complicated. The 60-year-old version of yourself with $676,000 is in a completely different position than the 60-year-old version with zero. Which version do you want to be? The 7-day experiment. Open a compound interest calculator online. Input your age, your planned retirement age, and a realistic raise amount. Calculate what that money becomes if invested. Write that number down. Put it somewhere you will see it every day. That number is what you are giving up every time you inflate your lifestyle. Common failure mode. You see the big number, but it feels too far away to matter. Retirement is decades away. The fix is making it personal. Print a photo of yourself. Write the retirement number on it. Put it on your wall. That is future you. That person is counting on current you to make good choices. Do not let them down. The 7-day Rewire Plan and Checklist. Day 1. Complete the baseline audit. Track every purchase for the next 24 hours. At the end of the day, categorize each as essential or luxury. 15 minutes at end of day. Day 2. Build your lifestyle budget lock. Add up all monthly expenses from the past 30 days. Write down your total monthly baseline. Commit to keeping it the same for 30 days. 20 minutes total. Day 3. Set up the pre-commit strategy. If you have a raise or bonus coming, set up automatic transfers today. If not, calculate what a 10% raise would be and set up the transfer anyway. 10 minutes total. Day 4. Complete the hourly cost translator calculation. Calculate your after-tax hourly wage. For the rest of today, convert any purchase over $20 into hours of work. 15-minute setup, use all day. Day 5. Write your first regret test letter. Think about a major purchase you are considering. Write a letter to yourself explaining why you want it. Seal it or send it to a friend to return in 6 months. 20 minutes total. Day 6. Run the downsizing audit. Identify 3 expenses you could reduce or eliminate. Calculate total annual savings. Choose one to test eliminating for 30 days starting tomorrow. 20 minutes total. Day 7. Calculate your future self number. Use a compound interest calculator to see what your next raise becomes if invested until retirement. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible. Commit to rooting surplus income instead of inflating lifestyle. 15 minutes total. This is exactly what the toolkit is for. So keep listening now, then use the checklist later when you are at your desk. Now here is the 2-minute version. If you only have 2 minutes and you want to do something today, do this. Open your bank account right now. Look at your transactions from the last 30 days. Add up how much you spent. Write that number down. That is your baseline. Now commit to not increasing that number for the next 30 days. Any extra income that comes in goes to a separate savings account. Do not touch it. That is it. That is the 2-minute version. It will not fix everything, but it will stop the bleeding. Closing summary. 3 things to remember. 1. You are not broke because you do not earn enough. You are broke because every time you earn more, you spend more. That is the income trap. 2. The way out is the baseline lock method. Lock your lifestyle at its current level. Route surplus income immediately to savings and investments. Upgrade only strategically, not automatically. 3. Most people around you are playing the same losing game. They look rich but they are broke. You do not have to play that game. You can build actual wealth instead of the appearance of wealth. Your next step today is simple. Calculate your baseline. Write down what you actually spend per month. Then commit to not increasing it. That is the first step out of the trap. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. And check out the free toolkit in the description so you do not have to take notes. And share this with one friend who got a raise recently but somehow still feels broke. Once they break free from the income trap, they will finally see their income translate into actual financial security.